All right, let's talk about a book that's basically been the success Bible for almost 100 years, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I mean, this is the book that supposedly cracked the code for guys like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford. So you got to ask, what's the big secret? Let's find out.
So, right off the bat, Hill hits you with this massive idea. He's basically saying, forget luck, forget where you came from, forget what you studied. Everything, and I mean everything, starts and ends with what's going on in your head. The core idea is that your thoughts aren't just thoughts. They can literally shape the world around you.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Turn a thought into a fortune? Sounds a little out there, right? Like some kind of magic trick. But Hill insists, nope, not magic. He says it's a system, a repeatable formula. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this whole thing actually works. Okay, so where do we start? Well, according to Hill, it all begins inside. Before you can achieve anything out in the world, you've got to win the battle in your own mind. That's the foundation. And this foundation is built on 4 key ideas: desire, faith, autosuggestion, and getting a handle on your subconscious mind. Think of these as the ingredients you need to mix together to create this unstoppable belief, this feeling that your success is basically a done deal. And the absolute starting point, the spark for everything, is what he calls a burning desire. And he's not messing around here. This isn't just, oh, it'd be nice to have more money. No, this is an all-consuming obsession, a goal so clear and so intense that it's literally the first thing on your mind in the morning and the last thing at night.
All right, so you've got this intense desire. Great. But how do you get your brain to actually believe it can happen? That's the tricky part, right? Hill's take is that you have to reprogram the operating system of your mind, your subconscious. That's the real engine running the show, whether you realize it or not.
So how do you do that? The tool he gives us is called autosuggestion. And look, this is way more than just positive thinking. It's like a workout for your brain. You repeat affirmations about your goal over and over. But here's the secret sauce. You have to feel it. You have to connect that deep emotion to the words. That's how you build that rock-solid faith that it's not a matter of if, but when. Okay, so your mindset is locked in. You've got the internal part down. Now it's time to take all that mental energy and build something real with it. We're moving on to the blueprint, the actual plan. And to draw up this blueprint, you're going to need 3 things. Specialized knowledge, you got to know your stuff. Imagination, to see the possibilities. And crucially, organized planning. This is the part where the dream gets a deadline and a to-do list.
Yeah, this really sums it up, doesn't it? A goal without a plan is just a wish. It's just daydreaming. Hill is super clear about this. If you're serious, you need a strategy. You need a plan. And his method for planning is so simple, it's brilliant. Step 1, know exactly what you want. No vague stuff. Step 2, figure out what you're willing to give to get it, because nothing's free. Step 3, lay out the actual action plan. And step 4, this is key, write it all down. Putting pen to paper for Hill was like signing a contract with yourself. It makes it real.
All right, you've got the foundation, you've got the blueprint. Now you need the engine. You need the horsepower to actually make this thing move, to push through all the resistance you're going to face. This last part is all about action and momentum. And what powers this engine? 3 things: being decisive, being persistent, and harnessing the power of what he calls a mastermind. These are the things that take you from someone with a cool idea to someone who actually gets it done. Let's talk about that first one, making a decision. Hill noticed a huge difference here. Successful people, they decide fast and stick to it. They're slow to change their minds. Unsuccessful people, they take forever to decide, and then they change their minds constantly. That indecision just grinds everything to a halt. Sooner or later, you're gonna hit a wall. It's inevitable. And that's where the second part of the engine kicks in, persistence. This one is huge. Just think about Thomas Edison. He didn't fail 1,000 times. He just found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. For him, every failure was just data. That's persistence. It's just refusing to quit, period. And here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. That's the whole point of the mastermind, is this idea that you need to get a small group of smart, driven people around you. When minds come together, it's not just addition, it's multiplication. Hill saw how Andrew Carnegie did this. He surrounded himself with experts. The energy and ideas from a group like that can take you places you could never get to on your own. So what's the fuel for this engine? Hill gets a little more abstract here, but it's really about 2 things.
First, taking your most powerful emotions, your passion, and channeling all that energy into your work instead of wasting it. And second, trusting your gut, developing that sixth sense or intuition so you can make those smart calls when the data doesn't give you a clear answer.
So when you put it all together, what's the big lesson here? It's this. Success isn't some big secret that only a few people know. It's a system. It's a process that anyone can learn. You master your mind, you make a plan, and you just don't stop. That's it.
Okay, so let's land the plane here. Think and Grow Rich isn't something you just read. It's a user's manual. It's a toolkit. Knowing all this stuff is great, but it's totally useless unless you actually do something with it. And remember, it all starts with that very first piece of the puzzle. So I want to leave you with this one question. Just for a second, forget all the other steps. What is the one thing you want so badly it keeps you up at night? Because according to Hill, figuring that out, that's where everything begins.